America's first competition talk show.
You're in the hub.
The WikiLeaks website released nearly 400,000 secret U.S. files on the Iraq War late today. It was the largest group of classified.
That WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange
former computer hacker, founder of the WikiLeaks website, as of now, last president.
Order 6 o'clock.
Good day, welcome to the Hub. I'm your host, Joel Aaron, all this week with Erica and Greg, who's back for more. And, you know, there are a variety of reasons that we get into wars here in the US of A. In World War I, it was the sinking of the Lusitania. In World War II, it was Pearl Harbor. Vietnam War, this was LBJ was bored with the war on poverty that he created, so he went out to fight another war. And I guess for our generation, it is the URL heard around the world, WikiLeaks, and it may just bring it all about again. Realistically, the entire world, at least the intelligence agencies, are up in arms about this. But the people in general really aren't. I mean, Julian Assange. Okay, so he comes out. I guess he got bored and he had to, he had to release this stuff. And I mean, I guess my real big question is he going to make it out of the UK and find a way out of this? Because he's got a killer legal team right now, but I don't see him breaking free. I mean, he turned himself in a couple days ago. Do you see this guy getting off?
Well, I don't know what he's being charged with. The crime.
They don't really know what
in Sweden. They call it surprise sex. It's supposedly not rape because rape is obviously kind of surprise sex too. Surprise having sex. It's kind of unannounced, but with the WikiLeaks release, everybody calls him a traitor, but he's not. He's not a U.S. citizen, and the U.S. is the only nation that has deemed those documents classified. So I mean, they have him on the potential rape case in Sweden, but that's about it. So I really don't see him being prosecuted. I would think that maybe we might send a couple guys in suits to take care of him.
Yeah. He may not last that long. We don't want to drag this out. We don't want another OJ.
He is in jail for the next 7 days, and it's actually not even a rape charge. It's a questioning. Both women, it was consensual from the beginning. They kind of, from the stories I've read, have changed their mind after the fact.
But one he used a condom, one he insisted he didn't want to use one.
A condom out of WikiLeaks or something.
Condom out of WikiLeaks.
They both went through with it, though, and the stories are saying that in subsequent days, both women were seen in public with him. Which to me says, if I got raped, I am not about to go have lunch with somebody. I'm sorry.
But I want to understand this guy. I want to understand this guy. I mean, is he just, crawl up inside his head a minute, is this guy just a deconstructionist? Is he just like a nihilist? Because he obviously doesn't have any regard whatsoever for intelligence agencies, for secrecy, for privacy, for national sovereignty, for anything. What gets you to this point inside his head?
Isn't it like Batman, The Dark Knight, where Michael Caine's like, some people just want to see the world burn. Maybe this is Julian Assange. He just wants to see the world.
He just wants to see it with a British accent. He really does. It's more fun that way.
Well, there's the element of free speech. Is what he doing free speech.
And here's one thing that I wanted to mention. The Republicans now are hemming and hawing, but in reality, isn't this kind of like their dream that you have this insider information to the White House? You had nothing to do with it. You can blame it on a foreign, entity. And now we can see Hillary Clinton's, trying to spy on diplomat. I mean, this makes Watergate look like, the Cub Scouts or something.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. And but
I mean, they've got to be jumping for joy secretly because there's going to be investigations, and the guy that's going to be in charge of that's Daryl Issa, and you can't spell investigations without Issa.
Yeah, it's right in there. It's embedded. It's really embedded. Well, yeah, I guess so. I mean, national sovereignty may fall by the wayside in several countries over this. Obviously, it's been questioned. It's being questioned more and more because it's got a lot of people walking on pins and needles right now. Talk about international diplomacy, not the least of which Hillary Clinton. But I mean, I guess the other casualty that might happen first is the conspiracy thriller in the film community. Because I swear, I mean, how many more? I mean, you can't have. There is no more room for Jason Bourne. There is no more room for whoever Will Smith's character was in Enemy of the State. None of that stuff turns us on anymore.
They've been outed. I mean, we know who that Valerie Plame was, kind of the first CIA agent. Now, who knows? I mean, there's 250,000 pages of stuff. And
I mean, basically, we just found out that every James Bond script in the last 35 years was written by a CIA intelligence officer.
And it's true.
And it's all true. The pipeline thing, the most recent one, yeah, you know, you got to watch that pipeline in the Czech Republic. You know,
well, it looks like the leaks are being blamed currently on PFC.
Yeah, Bradley Manning, who was listening to Lady Gaga supposedly, which you know, we were talking earlier. I wrote a piece about you know, Gloria Allred's looking to do a defense on her because the Ozzy Osbourne defense. She's going to say that song Alejandro, if you listen to the words backwards on it, it'll make you steal state secrets. And I don't know if that's true, but we're
get out of here. Just like the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Pink Floyd, the dark side of the rainbow.
Dark side of the rainbow.
I find it concerning that somebody so low-ranking had so much access that we don't have the controls in place to have prevented this. I think that's the bigger concern is, yes, the stuff got out, and that's horrible. Yeah. But we don't have the internal controls to prevent it from getting out.
Well, that's true. I mean, and you know, the media will hyperventilate about anything. And you know, they live to hyperventilate, which is, you know, even online, it turns out. But the real thing here is, I mean, if we just shocked ourselves into apathy at this point, we're shocked by so much news constantly. It's like a coping mechanism because we don't really seem to be all that upset about this. Erica, are we pulling back to?
I agree. I'm not personally as upset as I would have thought I would have been if somebody told me.
It's because
it's ethereal at this point. Unless something happens.
And the finger of blame that you're pointing at, you know, it's not an American citizen necessarily. The PFC Manning, he's in solitary confinement, but they're portraying this, you know, Assange, who's kind of like, he is a James Bond character-esque. I can't remember, it was The World Is Not Enough, I think, was one about a media mogul. And so this character seems like that. International, we can all kind of blame him, but there's not a domestic enemy except for this private we haven't seen in 7 months who's a Lady Gaga fan.
Yeah. I mean, but let's just face it. I mean, if it is true and we're reasonable, we're rational about all this and that, and that's what's driving the American response to this whole thing, and the fact that we're not all upset and wetting our pants, you know, then I guess you could. It's a case against Jason Bourne because I mean, should we give our action heroes a film or a Prozac? At this point, it could have gone either way. But do you think? Because I honestly believe that if we would be more upset if they put Monday Night Football on cable, there would be more of an outcry.
It's on ESPN from ABC.
Oh, okay. Well, then, okay. Well, I wasn't upset.
Where are the pitchforks?
We're SEC people in the South. We don't care about
I think there's also a lot of question about this insurance policy that he has supposedly about Bank of America, not Bank of America, another large bank that essentially could be the next Enron. I think there's a lot of people holding their breath waiting to see if this guy's as good as he's saying his information is. That should be very interesting.
Well, and how much of it is validated and how much of it is truly just him trying to be in the flash in the pan, seizing the moment. You know, I mean, time will tell how much this plays out because you can put the information out there, they can still deny it, and at the end of the day, you know, go off scot-free and say, oh, you know, he had a wild hair.
I was going to ask, how can you authenticate anything he has? It seems pretty spot on, but at the same time, obviously the U.S. isn't going to go, oh yes, absolutely our secret.
All I know is right now they're rerouting a pipeline in Ukraine. We'll see you tomorrow on the Hub.